ago, I uploaded a video called the #1 bestsellers at Sephora. Come to find out, I don't actually know if those were the #1 bestsellers. I don't know the algorithm behind the Sephora website. I think it might be based on where you're located, what brands might have paid them to push their stuff towards the top, etc., etc. But when you go to the Sephora website and you search by bestsellers, it will give you a list. And I picked the top one that would show, and I said that's the #1 bestseller. That's what I had assumed, but I'm not really sure that's the case, so it might be false advertising on that. But anyways, those were still bestsellers, maybe not the #1, and I gave my opinions on whether I thought they deserved to be the bestseller. So now I'm doing a video on what I think should be the #1 bestseller at Sephora based on the products that I tried, my opinions, my experiences. I tried to pick formulas that I felt like were the most versatile for most people. And I think all of these products will work for a very wide array of skin tones, skin types, not the particular colors that I'm showing, but you know, I feel like they have good shade range. I'm talking too much. You know what I'm saying. You know what I mean. So these are just what I think deserves to have the #1 spot at Sephora. Before we get into that, I want to thank today's sponsor for the video. As per usual, I'm so happy to be working with Ana Luisa on this. I've worked with them for the past couple of years because I love their jewelry. They create my favorite, most delicate yet high quality pieces. Jewelry makes a great gift, and Ana Luisa offers speedy delivery all over the world. And all of the pieces that I've had from them for the last couple of years are still in tip-top shape, which is why I love working with them. All of the pieces range from $39 all the way up to higher end pieces. So there is something for everybody, no matter what your preferences are. Let me show you what I picked out this time. So I picked up one necklace. I wanted a really dainty necklace. The style of this is Lynn. I love how delicate the chain is. It comes with 2 different chains, so you can mix and match this with other necklaces if you would like, but you know they look good because they came in a set together. And then the style of the earrings that I have right now on is Arden, and you're gonna notice I picked up a lot of these types of earrings because I think they're so elegant looking and simple. So I have this drop earring, and this one is the same kind of style in Darlene. So this one has a cute little flower on it. And I love a good pearl piece, so I picked up this one as well. So what I like about this style of earrings is there's no back to it. You just literally poke it through the hole in your ear, and I feel like it looks so nice. So whether you want to gift any items for yourself or for other people, this is a great time to do it because Ana Luisa is currently having a sale right now, and they also provided me with a discount code. So just use this discount at checkout to save a little bit of money, and I will have everything linked that I mentioned and that I picked up down below. All right, let's go ahead and get into what I think deserves to be a #1 best-selling product. Now, I feel like primer is super personal. Everybody has different needs for what they need out of their makeup, whether it be longevity, maybe they have pores, maybe they need hydration. So this one was tough, but I picked out the Tatcha, the liquid silk canvas for this because I feel like it is hydrating and also smoothing and also helps a little bit with longevity, so I feel like it kind of covers all of those bases. It's one of my all-time favorite primers, and I feel like it really will work for a lot of people. It's high quality, so this is one that I would recommend and deserves to be sold a lot. So this is what it looks like, and then you just put it in the areas right where you need it. It's not overly hydrating, so for me, somebody who has drier skin, I, on a daily basis, probably prefer something a little bit more hydrating, but not everybody needs a ton of hydration, and you can also aid that by putting on a good moisturizer before. But what this does do is it creates a perfectly smooth canvas before makeup. That's why it's literally called the silk canvas, because it is made to have makeup sit on top of it. Now for foundation, again, foundation is very personal, but I'm still on a high from the launch of the Hourglass Ambient Soft Glow Foundation. I have yet to come up with a flaw with this foundation, and I know of course there's going to be people who don't love this, but I simply don't know how because it just looks so smooth. It gives a medium coverage, and I don't know, my skin looks so perfected whenever I wear this. And you know, there are a lot of foundations that I would have been happy to have featured in this video. I have a lot of tried and trues. I'm still on the Armani Luminous Silk train, still love that foundation. But I feel like this one is a little bit more universal because it isn't too glowy of a foundation, but it also isn't truly matte. It kind of meets everybody right there in the middle. And then, like I said, it just makes your skin look so nice. This is one of my all-time favorite foundations now at this point. Very pleased that 2022 managed to come out with a couple of foundations that broke into my all-time favorites. This one and the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation, I think, were just incredible. But a lot of the other foundation launches I really wasn't a fan of, so I expected me to pull an older foundation for this, but I think that this one universally will just work for the most amount of people. So I think it should be up there at the bestsellers. And see, I feel like my skin looks so blurred with this, even without a powder. It's incredible. Concealer, now this is a tried and true product for me. Nothing new, but still amazing. This is the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Concealer. This, you can get whatever you want out of it. This is amazing just for the under eyes. It's amazing for spot concealing. It is so flexible when you blend it out. It provides really nice coverage. You can also opt to use this as a foundation. The finish is so pretty. It is the best concealer, the most versatile, wears amazing. Is this my all-time favorite concealer? I think it is, but it definitely is the most multifunctional for me and just looks good any way that I want to utilize a concealer. And again, I just can't imagine somebody not liking this. I can see somebody not wanting to use it every day because it does provide pretty full coverage, but it's so versatile. I don't care. It's so, so good. Winner, Golden Standard. Now for setting powder, I was teeter-tottering between a few, but ultimately, I just can't see why somebody wouldn't absolutely love the Pat McGrath Labs Sublime Perfection Blurring Under Eye Powder. I know it doesn't work for people, I totally get that, but for me, with my experiences with these, it's a pressed powder, so I know not everybody wants a heavy loose setting powder, so you can really get a light layer on the skin if you don't like a ton of powder. And it's super blurring and sets the makeup. It feels so lightweight on the skin. And one of the things I look for powders is, does it just make my face look better? And it sure does. You know, love it so much. Picked it up in 2 colors. So I'm just gonna use a brush to get up underneath on the under eyes. And then I'm gonna go ahead and use the shade Medium to get the rest of the face set. I'm not going to overset the outer parts because I have some cream products I want to share, but my face is like blurred now. Do you see that? This made my face look amazing. Nothing bad I can say about it. Now I'm going to go ahead and move on to eyebrows because I can't stand my face looking like this. So the eyebrow pencil I chose is the Huda Beauty Bomb Brows, and the reason I chose this is not because it's the best pencil at Sephora, but it's the most unique eyebrow pencil. So of course I think this is really great quality, but it has the itty bittiest, tiniest little tip that I've ever seen, and I think this should be a bestseller because you can't get this at the drugstore market. And I'm mentioning that because I think you can get amazing eyebrow pencils at the drugstore market without having to pay $20 for an ABH or a Benefit pencil, which I do love, but you don't need to spend a ton of money. But you cannot find a pencil as small as this at the drugstore, which is why I think this should be the best seller at Sephora. So what's gonna happen here is I'm just gonna brush my brows up. Now I don't really like to actually fill in with this because it is so small. You're gonna run through it so fast, but you are not gonna get more hair-like strokes than with this because it's so small. So if you need to do a big fill, like literally draw in new eyebrows, I suggest using something else. But for creating hairs and for precision, this is amazing. There is nothing as small as this for a more affordable price, so I feel like if you should go to Sephora to pick this up if you need something like this. Okay, I'm not going to do a heavy fill on my brows today because I don't want to waste it, but let's move on to my favorite gel. for the eyebrows. You already know, I've talked about this so much since I'm in the season of doing favorites and yearly roundups. The Too Faced Fluff and Hold Laminating Brow Wax is the best brow product I've ever used. That is a huge statement, and I mean it in all seriousness. Just take a look at what this does. Now, I know the fluffy brow look isn't for everybody, but you don't need to get a fluffy brow look with this. But whatever you do with your eyebrows, it's going to stay that way, and it's not overly crunchy or hard. And the way that the bristles brush out my eyebrows, you can see how they give each hair their own life. It really makes the brows look so much more full. Do you see that? This product is actually magical. Whether you want fluffy brows or not, this just looks amazing, and it holds the brows all day. So not only does it make your brows look amazing, but it also makes them look amazing all day because of the lasting powers. So I've talked about this a lot. I'm gonna shut up about it, but it's possibly the best product that I discovered in 2022 because now I can no longer live without this. It's so good. So good. Now let's go back to add a little bit of color on my face. I want to talk about a cream and powder bronzer. I think the best cream bronzer at Sephora is the Huda Beauty Tantour. I haven't used this as much recently because cream bronzers were so popular this year. I was trying the new and now, but this still has the best tones and is so easy to apply. So I'm just going to take an angled brush and stipple it on. You can use a sponge if you would like to. And I like the tone of this because it's not too warm. And it almost gives a little bit of coverage to the skin as well, which I think makes it look even more perfected on the skin. So I use that to apply. Then I'm gonna use my sponge, and you can just use a sponge the whole time. You see how it just becomes one with the skin? Looks so good. This one I haven't used in a while, which is a shame because I really do love it, but it feels good that she's back right now on my face where she belongs. See? Looks good, right? The best. Now for powder bronzer, you can't go wrong with the Ilia Drawn In Nightlight Bronzing Powder. This one really is truly a bronzer, but it has a little bit of coolness to it. Like, it's not super duper warm, and it applies like butter. It makes the skin look nice and soft. I mean, there's a lot of great bronzers that I really enjoy from Sephora, but this one I have had at the top of my favorites list ever since I tried it for the last couple of years. I'm just going to use a BK Beauty 111 brush. And I'm not doing anything crazy with application of this because I do already have cream bronzer on, but I'm just gonna set this right here. That looks so good. And then I did pick a cream blush formula and a powder blush formula. I'm gonna throw it back a little bit, but I really do think that this is the most universal cream blush formulation, and it's from Nude Sticks. They have the Nude Sticks blush, what are these called? All over face colors, and they're quite versatile with what you can do with them, and I think they're just a really great formula. They're not going to be the most blendable, but they're going to last all day, and I think a lot of people will appreciate that. And they have a couple formulas. They have one that is dewy, and then they also have one that is matte, so it just depends on what you're looking for. I'm going to use Sweet Peach Peony, which is one of the dewier ones, but I mean, these have fallen back. They just don't have the popularity that they once had. These were for a while, a few years ago, like the cream blush, when cream blush wasn't as popular. But I still think, maybe I'm living in the olden days, but I still think this formula is just amazing. I'm going to use the stick at the end, which I don't always do, but we're just going to push that into the skin. It doesn't disrupt anything underneath, even if you have powder. And then the thing that sticks out to me about this over ones that are maybe more popular now is that these do last all day as well. So you're getting the longevity with it. They also have a bronzer one that's really nice. But see, I feel like it literally looks like skin, but with a pretty dew if you get the dewy one. And they're not too pigmented, but they also don't blend out too much to lose pigment. A really good tried and true formula that I think so many people would love. And you already know what I'm about to pull for powder blush because I've talked about these in so many videos lately, but the Laura Mercier blushes are the most universal blush formula. There's not anything you won't like about it. It's not too pigmented. They have a great color range, blends out easily. They have a couple of different finishes. It's just a blush formula that's a basic good blush formula. That was a really fabulous description, wasn't it? But anyways, I'm like at a loss for words today. I don't know. I'm struggling to describe these products because I've talked about them so much. I just love them so much. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and pop one of these guys on the cheek. So to match the blush that I put on from Nudestix, I'm gonna use this shade Ginger. Ginger is such a good shade for everyday makeup. It's not crazy pigmented, but it's just going to give a little bit of color to the cheek, and it's quite neutral, so it's going to go ahead and look good with every eye look that you do. So nice. So nice. Now for powder highlight, I actually am pulling something very trendy right now, but these should be bestsellers because they are incredible. I love them even more than when I first reviewed them, but the Rephr Beauty highlighters, the powder ones, so good. I was like a little unsure at first if I wanted to purchase another powder highlighter. These are a really good formula. They deserve to be the #1 best-selling highlighter at Sephora right now. So we're gonna put this on the cheek. I'm excited to because that's how much I love it. I'm going to pop on Exhilarate. Like, you can get a really beaming highlight if you want with this, or let me show you, but you see how I'm blending it in and it looks not natural, but you can't see where the start and finish point is. It's because it's that good quality. But look, if you want something a little bit less crazy, barely put your brush in and you can get something very natural and glow from within. So you can get something like this, or you could get something like this, and I have no chill, so we're gonna build it up to look like something like this. But I love this highlighter. I didn't get a chance to put it in my yearly favorites because this was like, had just come out. But this is the best powder highlight that has launched this year. I'm so serious. When it comes back into stock, it's awesome. Okay. Now, before I move into the eyes, have to have a good setting spray, and Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray is the best of the best. It's gonna help makeup last longer, and I swear it makes my makeup look better. So I'm gonna set with this. You know, it's like, who doesn't want a setting spray that's gonna make their makeup last longer and look better? While that dries, let's talk about eye primers. This was actually the #1 best-selling eye primer. There's not a ton of eye primers out there, but the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion deserves to be, so I'm just gonna pop this on my eyelids. And I can't wait to talk about the eyeshadow palette with you guys. I'm just gonna talk about it while I'm putting this eye primer on. As much as I would love for a pat or a Nat palette to be the bestseller at Sephora, I just don't think that's realistic. Those are just too pricey and so extra. It isn't necessary. I don't think those are the most universal items. So Urban Decay eyeshadow palettes are always the best sellers at Sephora. I wanted something that was like kind of basic, but had all of the colors that somebody would need, was very, very good quality. So I needed a palette that was mostly neutral. Neutral palettes are always gonna be the best seller because that's what most people are gonna wear, and had a range from really light to really dark, and of course had phenomenal quality. So I went to an old school palette. I think this should still be the best seller. I think it should be for years. This should be the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer of eyeshadow palettes. This is the ABH Soft Glam palette, and when you look at it, you can see it is exactly what I described. Different tones, every depth level. There's a lot of versatility in it. It's neutral, and I really like ABH's quality. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off with good old tempera, and I'm going to set underneath my brow with this, just like that. A little bit softer right there, and it has a very subtle like satinness to it. And then, do I want to do a look that I always do? Yeah, I do. We're going to start off with Orange Soda right here. I'm just using a BK Beauty 212 brush, and Orange Soda was a very, very popular shade when warm tones were really in style. It's the perfect transition for a warm toned kind of look. But it's not too pigmented, as you can see. So a lot of people really like this shade because it's not too intimidating, but it gets the job done as a great transition shade. I'm gonna put that along the lower lash line as well. I'm doing a really quick, simple look because I just feel like for most people, that's the kind of look that you're gonna get with this palette. Then I'm sticking with the same brush, and I want to go into Sienna, which is a little bit of a warm brown. And I'm gonna start that off in the outer corner, both sides. Then we're gonna blend it, just like this. You can see how easily these shadows are working out. That's what I think is important for a best-selling eyeshadow palette. All skill levels need to be able to make this work. Put it down here as well. And then I definitely want to add a little bit more depth, so we're going into rustic. But what's awesome about this is you have the option to go a lot darker or a lot more smoky because there's a black. You could also use the black as an eyeliner. I'm just putting a little bit for a little bit more depth. And I used this palette when I was doing bridal makeup back in the day all the time because it had all the good colors. Then doing a simple eyelid, I'm just going to take my finger, go in with bronze, and pop that all over the lid, and you have a really simple everyday eye look with this. And that's all I'm going to do for eyeshadow, but I feel like this palette really deserves to be the #1 bestseller at Sephora because when they curated this palette, they knew what they were doing. They did a phenomenal job. So eyeliners, I have a couple. The first is the liquid liner choice, and this is the Tom Ford Eye Defining Pen. This is hands down the best liquid liner that I've ever used, and it lasts forever. Now, it's not realistic to pay this price for an eyeliner, but it's that good, and it's worth it. And I'm sorry, but it's true. And what makes this really special compared to other liquid liners is one, there's 2 different sizes of the tips. You have a big size and a small size. And like I said, it lasts forever. A lot of liquid liners I find dry out, not this one. And I can get the quickest eyeliner with this. I'm not going to do anything crazy today. I'm just going to do like a baby wing. Just so you can get the gist, right? You see how quick I got that wing? I can't do that with any other eyeliner. I don't know what it is. I guess it's the applicator, but there's something about this where it's so precise. Puts the product exactly where I want it, and I can just get such quick, perfect eyeliner with this. Okay, amazing. Let me do the other eye now. It's the best. I know I'm a psycho for recommending a $60 eyeliner, but it's worth it. Now, in terms of pencil liners, the Urban Decay one is really, really good, but I think I like the Hourglass ones a little bit better because they last a little longer. See, I don't know. I think I would recommend the Urban Decay, but I'm trying to be different. So the Hourglass, I think, lasts a little longer than the Urban Decay, which is why I would recommend that if you're looking for longevity. I'm gonna go ahead and use the shade Cave, which is a dark brown. I'm just gonna put it like right here. And it's really, really pigmented too, and applies really creamy, and then when it sets, it sets. I'm gonna take my finger, just kind of smudge it out. I've been using my finger a lot as a tool. That just added like a little bit of subtle definition, which will look better when we get mascara on, which leads me to mascaras. I think the #1 best-selling mascara should be the Tower 28. I did not like the mascaras that they had on the bestsellers list. This one, for my lashes, works really well, which are short, sparse, thin, and it gives me a little bit of a curl as well. So let me pop this on because this is the best mascara at Sephora. I also really like the Rare Beauty one as well. Patrick Ta's is really nice too, but I think this one comes out as my all-time favorite. See, so good. Normally I do put on false lashes, but I actually have another video that I need to film after this, so I'm gonna have to take my makeup off, so I don't want to deal with the glue situation. But let's talk lip liners. The best-selling one was Charlotte Tilbury, which I totally thought was amazing. No issue with that. But a lip liner that I think is a little bit better and lasts a little bit longer is the Pat McGrath. These are the best lip liners, in my opinion, that they sell at Sephora. And you should try it. This deserves to be the #1 bestseller, particularly the shade Contour. It's the perfect contour shade that's so popular right now. So look, you guys see, I have smaller lips. This is gonna be a really great natural contour shade. You see that? Look at the difference. Small little top lip, somewhat respectable bottom lip. And these apply really creamy. They have a great shade range. And then when they set, they last forever. Whenever I wear this pencil, no matter what lip I put on top, it's always the pencil that's standing out. Amazing! Now lipsticks. A Sephora collection lipstick was the one I had in my video, but you guys know it needs to be a Charlotte Tilbury lipstick. These are my all-time favorite lipstick formulation. She has iconic colors that so many people love and are so flattering on everybody. So that's my recommendation for this video. I want to go kind of with a bolder lip. I don't know if they sell this shade still at Sephora, but this is super fabulous. But any lipstick you get from Charlotte Tilbury is so good. This one's a good like fall winter color. That shade's so pretty. I love her lipsticks. I think they last a long time. They have the best colors. They smell good. They feel good on the lips. Favorite lipstick formula of all time. And I do like this color quite a lot. It goes perfectly with my lip liner. And then for lip gloss, I think the Fenty lip glosses deserve to be the #1 bestseller. Now, Pat McGrath lip glosses are actually my #1 favorite, but I think these are a little bit more universal and more popular, and I do think they deserve the #1 spot. This is a shade Fussy. I'm just going to put this in the center of the lips. It really makes the lips look nice and plump because of the shine that it has. Very comfortable, not sticky, endless amounts of shades because it's been so popular for so long. It's nice to have in your purse. Everybody recognizes it and loves it. So that's the final look. Give me a moment. I'm going to pull all myself together and I'll see you guys out. Alright, and here's the final look. And yeah, my makeup looks amazing. This is a full face of what should be the #1 bestsellers because my makeup looks absolutely flawless. And I stand by all of these products. I think you guys will all enjoy them. I'll have everything linked down below for you to pick up. And again, a huge thank you to Ana Luisa for sponsoring today's video. Make sure you check out their current promo and use my discount code. I will have the links to shop down below in the description box. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye guys, have a good one.